So I'm going to tell you something. Satan comes to rob, kill, and destroy. And today I was trying to do my PowerPoint for a presentation in Chattanooga. And here's the unfortunate thing. I came over here and I want to show you. This is Parsons Center, and this is the library. So I drove all the way over here, 30 minutes to the library to get online to do my PowerPoint. Totally locked out of my PowerPoint. I got locked out of my Google account. I had no reception in here, and it was just getting to be way too much. And I thought, Lord, I'm out of here. I got to leave because I'm wasting my time. So but okay, here's the other caveat. So I was wasting my time. I thought I was wasting my time, and I ran out to get the quarter for my. I ran out to get a quarter for. I had to print something, and when I was coming back in, there was a lady who was kind of dressed like an Amish, and her daughter kind of dressed the same way, and a young man. I think she had maybe three kids, and it was very, very like, yeah, they looked Amish. So I don't know, I didn't, I just caught my eye. So when I ran back in to give the library lady her quarter, the Lord said, you need to go in there. So I ran back out to the car here. I went back, and I've got books in my car here, and so this is what I did. I ran over here, just like I'm doing right now, and I'm like, oh Lord, should I? Is this what you want me to do? And I just dug in here, and the first book that I grabbed, and I didn't even know I had these. Oh, this is so strange. Maybe I don't have any more. Oh, that's so weird. Where did it come from? Oh, okay, that's weird. This is the Lord. It was a Steps to Christ. It was get to know Him, Jesus. That's what it said, get to know Him. So I go back in, and I interrupt the Amish-looking lady, and I said, are you Amish or... are you Mennonite? And she smiled. She's very quiet. She says, no, I'm Baptist. I go to a Baptist church. I said, where? She said, right up here. And I just started talking to her about, I don't know. I said, oh, I'm a medical missionary. And I told her how, I kind of left the world and a little bit about myself. And she was listening, and after I gave her a lot of my story, she said, yeah, I just lost my husband to COVID. And I said, what? She said, yeah, I just lost my husband to COVID. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. And then I'm telling you, the Holy Spirit just took over. I don't know how this happens, but I was just filled with the Holy Spirit. What do you tell somebody? Like, what do you tell somebody when they tell you, And I just started talking to her. Something strange happened, because I can't explain it. It's like the Holy Spirit just came into me. And she told me that, I said, do you have help from your church, that church you go to? And she says, well, it's small. And I said, well, is there any men or anybody that can help you? And she said my husband was the preacher. And she says, I have 7 kids. And I said, oh boy, okay, let me tell you this. And all of a sudden, then the Spirit, I'm like, let me tell you this. Your husband may have been the preacher. I said, yeah, okay, he's the preacher. He's the head of the flock. I get it, it's a big loss, but this is what Jesus wants you to know. He's your husband now. He's your husband. Do you see that He's your husband? You may have lost your earthly husband, but you have Jesus Christ, who is your husband. He can provide everything for you. He can provide financially. He can provide spiritually. He can provide for your children. Do you know that Jesus can provide for your children? I said, honey, you're not alone. You may feel like you're alone, but you have it wrong. You are not alone. Jesus is trying to tell you right now, and this was the Holy Spirit. Jesus is telling you right now, you are not alone, that He is here with you. He is waiting for you. He is your husband. He is stepping up to the plate. He is going to take care of you better than even your husband did. But He's asking you that you have to walk by faith and not by sight. That right now is the great, He's coming back. And this is a great time of tribulation. This is a great trial for you. But He's trying to tell you He is there for you. He now is your husband. Your husband is at rest, but Jesus is there, and He's not going to leave you. He's going to take care of all of this. And I said, I'm telling her, I'm like, you got to believe this. You got to believe this. You got to believe this. You should see my life now. God provides for everything for me. And I said, I'm not just preaching like prosperity. I'm preaching everything. And then, you could tell she was getting it, because it was the Spirit. And then I said, can I pray with you? And she said, yeah. I said, what's your name? Her name was Dawn. And it just poured out. And when I was done with the prayer, I said, you know what? I said, take my number. I felt really urgent about this. I said, take my number. I said, sister, you call me if you need anything. I said, you've got a family that needs to be taken care of, and I'm telling you, Jesus can provide, even financially. I said, you know what? And I would be willing to contribute. I said, I'd be willing to contribute to you. And she looked at me. She's like, oh, you're not going to believe this. I'm like, what? And she turns her face to the computer in the library here, and it's not a GoFund page. It is a Christian GoFund. This is like a Christian GoFund where people can contribute, and my husband David Black is on here. And I'm like, what? She says, yeah. She says, my mother helped me set this up. And I'm like, no way. I said, do you see what God is doing? I said, He's already providing. I said, do you see how I wanted to contribute, and then just like that, you have this fund? So when I get back home, I'm going to turn this camera on again, and I'm going to show you the fund that she is looking to raise money. I'm telling you, this was so unbelievable, so powerful. This young mother, I don't know how many kids she has, 7, and I tell you what, Jesus came into me and told me to tell her that he is there for her, and He's going to provide for her. And you know what? And He can, but He has to use us as vessels. He has to use us as vessels. Are you willing to be used as a vessel? Are you willing to do what I just did? Are you willing to do what I just did? To step out. I said, you have to step your foot into the water like the Israelites, so they could cross the ocean. And the only way the sea split was by them stepping their foot into that water. I said, are you willing to do that? That's what I told her. And I said, that's the faith that you have to have. I said, you got it. I said, you got the best husband of all. You need to be rejoicing. So, all right, my friends. Let's see what you can do. Let's see what you can do for this woman.